Hey traders, this is my weekend video. This is for 11/13/2022. Please like the video if you like it and retweet it if you get a chance on Gumby9662C on Twitter. I'd appreciate it. So this is more of a longer term view, some things I'm looking at here. So to start this big corrective cycle, I had drawn out uh, a fib spiral and off of where all the trend lines were pointing. Anchored it off that. And this was from several months ago. Okay, I did this back in, like April, May, something like that. I set up, this was my first primary scenario. Okay, at that time, we didn't even have this down here. Uh, I didn't even have this stuff down here drawn in. But so basically, what we've done here off this chart, we came up to a 38.6 retracement on a Fibonacci retracement, okay, which could definitely be and we've come up to the fib spiral again, which has already proven once to act as resistance. So we might be into resistance based off of this chart to start the week. So heads up on that. Now, what we did as we evolved through time, I had to change my spiral. Next thing I did, I came down to this area down here. So my next drawing set, my fifth spiral is now anchored down here. And as the market evolved. Okay, so basically, after the news last week, we had a breakout. Okay, and then we've come up here. As of yesterday, we've came right up into that spiral and rejected with a doji. Okay, so that being a doji now, so I drew a new trend line there, and I've started building out a new possible pivot point going into the first of next year. So now I'm starting to see us looking like we are going to start migrating into a new spiral range into next year. So let's be aware of that. Okay, so that's a theory which it has to prove out over time, but it's something I'm looking at here going forward. Okay, so basically it looks like we might be into resistance again, which we could very early in the week start seeing a rejection of this massive move up. We have Tuesday PPI coming out, so remember that purchase price index. Okay, and everybody has covered their hedges at this point with this massive squeeze higher. So if that were to come in bad, there might be a race to uh, a lack of hedging would potentially create a situation for selling situation in the markets. And this big rally we got here could trigger a forced selling situation. So be quite mindful of that possible scenario this week because so many hedges have blown up, have been taken off because of this uh, uh, big rally we've had. Okay, so be quite mindful of that scenario. That's the bad part about the potential bad part of this big rally up in the markets. That there's far less hedging out there, and as we knew down here, VIX was coming down. You know, even when prices were coming down, VIX was coming down with it because everybody had been hedged. Okay, but now after this big move here, that's probably not going to be the case. We're probably going to see VIX catching a bid because to cover, if we were to get some sort of selling pressure here. So be mindful of that. Some things I'm looking at here. See how this cross is going right into this Fibonacci retracement. You know, we're right into the 50% zone, and it's all kind of correlating right into the zone going into the first of the year. So, okay, so that's my second view. Okay, that's the current view. Now, if we are looking into the future now critical level 3. Now I've actually started a new Fibonacci retracement or fib spiral. Okay, and it looks to me, see how we've completely eclipsed this fib area. Okay, and it looks to me like we are putting in a wedging pattern. We're inside of a wedging pattern. We came right up to the top of the wedge. We rejected that Friday, the top of that wedge, in a possible wedging formation. So definitely keep this on watch that we might be seeing some sell side action. migrating back to the 3,900, migrating and holding inside around this 3,900 area, quite possibly all the way into the end of the year. So I just definitely want to keep this in the back of everybody's mind. You know, technically, we might have already completed the potential, the up move, and now we are going to settle into a trading range for the time being. So definitely keep this on watch going forward into the week. But this looks like the longer term pattern. It looks like we got a Fibonacci time zone. We're crossing into the first of the week. Okay, so we are changing our time zone possibly. Sometimes that can mean a change of trend. So definitely keep that in watch. We do have a time zone change possibly. We are into possible resistance here. So there's a lot of things here suggesting that, you may not want to be pushing the longs until the market tells us that it can't go higher. So I would look at Friday's highs, and I would not be initiating new longs unless we start clearing Friday's highs. Okay, and if you go down here on the smaller time frame, see Friday's highs, we got up here to the what? 4008 area. Okay, and if you go here on the smaller time frame, the actual trend line here that I was here marking here, we can still get up to the 4018, 4019. I was mentioning that in the room yesterday. Okay, so we can still get up here. We're in a very difficult indecision area. Okay, so far as of Friday, we saved this possible pattern to the upside. Okay, so they defended that. So I would be starting to get concerned if we come in Monday and we start losing the 4982 area. If we were to start losing at 3982 area, I would be really concerned if we were doing that early on Monday morning. And like I said, Tuesday morning we got PPI coming out, and there is really very little hedging going on in this market, given the relative risk we got going on here. So we came down here. See if bigger time frame here. So I had mentioned what I was looking for uh, in I think my prior video. I was just looking for us to come down to this area, the 24 area. Well, they came down here and they crashed it down here. So it does look like to me that we can still see a little bit down to 2181. 21 2181 would be your critical trend support here for your VX futures. So keep that in mind going forward here. It doesn't mean we have to come down to it. Okay, but it does look they could keep the markets up Monday going into the PPI. We would definitely want to be mindful for that. We have this launch higher, uh, so we are right at the swing high right here. So we actually have a current double bottom in play. So we'll see what happens Monday morning, but definitely we're in what could potentially be a nosebleed area in the markets, and we could easily start seeing Monday morning us crossing out and starting to see a relief rally, for this downtrend. So I would be looking for a possible downtrend cross on your VX futures, possibly coming up in here, and maybe this accelerated downtrend comes to an end early on here. So I would be looking at, you see those long wicks right there? I would just draw like a channel right here on these wicks right here. I would be looking early on Monday morning us above this. Okay, that's what I would be looking for, us starting to trend above this on your VIX, and that would give us a early warning sign signal that, hey, we're getting above this last move down Friday on our VX futures. This could be uh, in jeopardy. Okay, so we really want to watch this Monday morning and see if they start coming in here hedging early on Monday morning, which they should, because we got PPI, like I said, Tuesday. So in all likelihood, we're going to be up in this area or higher on our VX futures or our VIX and VX futures. Okay, so that's just a quick rundown. What I'm looking at right here, that I think we really in a dangerous area to try to be pushing the long side in the markets. Okay, guys. So and even the Nasdaq looks like it has finished its run up too. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, guys. So like I said, please like the video if you get a chance. Thanks a lot for listening.